Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Snyder Inc. Wrestling. We got another reaction video for you here. And this one is 10 best non-title matches in WWE WrestleMania history. And we will get right into this. I want to see what this is. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment what you think down below. Let's go.
Fighting for a championship in WWE is a great honor. Fighting at WrestleMania is a great honor. Combine the two and you get something so honorable it would make a Knight of the Crusade weep with happiness. Not everything is about the shiny belts though, as the show of shows has given us some great matches with nothing on the line except pride. Okay, so that's not strictly speaking true. Some of these matches did have stakes involved, but they weren't championships, so get off our backs and enjoy the countdown, alright? I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic Wrestling, and these are the 10 greatest non-title matches in WrestleMania history. Join us! Number 10, Bray Wyatt versus John Cena at WrestleMania.
The Firefly Funhouse match. This is like absolute insane, ridiculous clusterfuck, and I love it.
36, Night 2. We might be getting off to a controversial start with this one, as some would say that the Firefly Funhouse match wasn't actually a match at all. But hey, if WWE can count it, then so can we. Also,
this match is, yeah, it's kind of, it's not liked by many people. Like, there's people who don't like it, which is fine, you know, like, it's not everyone's cup of tea. I just enjoy overall stupidity. So overall stupidity in my wrestling gives me great joy when it comes to watching it, and that is what this is. It's just so much overall stupidity, nothing logical. There's nothing makes any sense, and I love it.
So it was absolutely spectacular. 6 years after John Cena halted Bray Wyatt's momentum by beating him at WrestleMania 30, the two men squared off again in front of, well, nobody. This was, of course, right at the start of the pandemic, aka the really bad times. WWE made the best out of this crappy situation by giving Bray the creative keys to this match. He was able to construct a trippy, psychedelic tour through Cena's past, which included highlighting some of the more questionable things the character had ever done. He took shots at Cena's perceived crushing of up-and-coming talent, his backstage privilege, and his supposed part in driving away so many people from wrestling. This was WWE's equivalent of an art house film, a complex character study on one of the most controversial figures in the company's history. Was it a wrestling match in the traditional sense? Not at all. Was it a divisive stroke of genius? I think so. Number 9, Shane McMahon versus Vince McMahon.
God, the McMahons. Oh, I don't think this deserves to be on here at all. I'm sorry, but I don't think this does. This match is this match is fun, but I don't know if it's best known title match in WrestleMania history.
At WrestleMania X7. Stick with me here, we will get to some proper matches with proper wrestlers in them soon, I promise. Despite not being actual wrestlers, and despite Vince being in his mid-50s at the time, this father-son clash from WrestleMania X7 is an all-time classic. Mr. McMahon was making his family's life a living hell in 2001. He had drugged his wife, taken on Trish Stratus as his mistress, and put his poor daughter Stephanie through several lifetimes of abuse in the space of a few months. Stepping up to take his dad to task and put his tyranny to an end was new WCW owner Shane McMahon, who challenged his father to a street fight at WrestleMania. With more smoke and mirrors than a glass factory on fire, the McMahon boys put on a soap opera spectacle for the ages.
That's actually a good line. He said more smoke and mirrors than a glass factory on fire. That's actually funny.
Interference, betrayals, trash cans. This match had it all. In the end, Shane got revenge for his family by beating his old man to a thunder.
The only time WCW has ever beaten WWE.
Ovation. This match is the absolute pinnacle of the sports entertainment philosophy, and everybody loved it. Don't believe me? Just listen to that Road Warrior pop when Linda gets out of her chair. Number 8, the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 21.
Yeah.
Alright, you can all come out now. We've got some actual wrestling for you. Killjoys. For 5 years, the Money in the Bank ladder match had its home at WrestleMania. From 2005 to 2010, anywhere between 6 and 10 wrestlers battled it out to retrieve a briefcase briefcase that would guarantee them a World Championship match at any point within a year. Whilst all these matches are special in their own way, we had to give this spot on the list to the one that started it all. Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Christian, Kane, Edge and Shelton Benjamin were the guinea.
Oh my god, these are all amazing talent in this match. Shelton Benjamin stole the effing show though.
Pigs for this experiment, and they all played their parts to a T. The match more than lived up to its hype, delivering on all of its potential for action and drama. Suplexes off ladders, chokeslams off ladders, Shelton Benjamin breaking physics to run up a ladder and clothesline Jericho. These are just some of the memorable spots that made this human car wreck so much fun to witness. Edge would be the first man to grab the famous briefcase, but all 6 of the competitors made history on this night. A tremendous start for what is now one of WWE's signature matches. Number 7, The Ultimate Warrior vs. Randy Savage at WrestleMania 7.
I've never actually watched this match, so I don't know if it's good or not.
At WrestleMania 3, Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat put on one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time for the Intercontinental title. At WrestleMania 6, the Ultimate Warrior's battle with Hulk Hogan became one of the most iconic main events in the show's history. Put these two together and what do you get? Well, lots of performance-enhancing drugs and crazed shouting, but also another match for the ages. This all started when the Macho King cost Warrior his WWE title at the Royal Rumble. The two megastars would face off at Mania 7 with each man's career on the line. After a dramatic back and forth that included Warrior kicking out of 5 consecutive flying elbows, the Ultimate One put Macho down and forced him to retire. The drama only ramped up when Queen Sherry attacked her former charge, only for Miss Elizabeth to rush to the ring and save her estranged husband from a kicking. In that moment, we were all that one fan wearing the hat and glasses. You know the one. A great mix of in-ring performance and storyline emotion, this match is so good that it doesn't even matter that Savage's retirement only lasted a couple of months. Number 6, Shawn Michaels vs. Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24.
This match is another one where I don't remember if I can't say I haven't watched it in full, I just don't remember if I have, but what I do remember of it is it's very emotional to watch. And really good, actually. Probably one of Rick's last WWE match. It's probably the best out of his recent, his return from 2001, at the end of 2001, all the way until this one. That and the Tower Tuesday match against Triple H.
Speaking of not staying retired, in late 2007, Vince McMahon announced that the next singles match Ric Flair lost would be his last. The Nature Boy rode his luck all the way to WrestleMania 24, where he shared the ring with Shawn Michaels. HBK and Slick Rick put on a masterclass in audience manipulation. Everyone knew that this would be Flair's swan song, as there was no way he could conceivably beat Michaels. But in the magical way that only wrestling can provide, these two made you believe. Every near fall was a heart stopper, every comeback a bolt of electricity, and that iconic shot of Michaels mouthing, "I'm sorry, I love you," before putting Flair away is enough to send shivers down your spine. Despite being nearly 60, Flair put in an all-time great performance in this match. He even hit something off the top rope, for goodness sake. He never did that. Sure, there are better worked bouts out there, but in terms of a special feeling surrounding a match, there aren't many that can touch this one.
Agreed.
And you know what? If we forgave Savage for breaking his retirement, I suppose we have to forgive Rick too. Number 5, The Rock.
I'll forgive him for the TNA one. I won't forgive him for that one. The one that he did there, he should be ashamed of himself for that.
Rock versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 18. Neither The Rock nor Hulk Hogan were ever regarded as the best technical wrestlers on the planet, but what they were great at was holding a crowd in the palm of their hand. And on this night in Toronto, that is exactly what they did. After the Hulkster made his triumphant WWE return as part of the NWO, fans were chomping at the bit to see a dream match between him and Stone Cold Steve Austin. That never happened, but this was as good, if not a little better. Despite being a dastardly heel, the fans refused to boo the returning Hogan. They booed The Rock instead. The Rock, that's like booing a very charismatic puppy. This unique dynamic led to some of the most insane crowd noises in wrestling history. Everything these two men did garnered a seismic reaction from the fans as the Mania 18 crowd ramped up towards fever pitch. This match was so bloody good that Hogan was forced to turn babyface on the spot, fighting off Hall and Nash to stand tall with The Rock. Of course, this did inadvertently lead to him winning the WWE Championship a month later, but we weren't to know that at the time. Number 4, Owen Hart versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania.
All-time classic. All-time effing classic. You find a better match than this at WrestleMania. It won't happen. You can't.
Mania 10. After 2 matches that were all about emotion, let's get stuck into some good old-fashioned wrestling, shall we? The 10th edition of the Showcase of the Immortals featured 2 scheduled WWE Championship matches. Yokozuna retained over Lex Luger before falling to Bret Hart in the main event to crown the Hitman champion once again. However, it's not like Hart was going into this match fresh, as he had opened the show in an absolute barn burner against his younger brother Owen. After coming to blows at Survivor Series, the 2 siblings looked to be on the same page until Owen did the unthinkable and kicked Bret's leg out of his leg at the Royal Rumble.
I love that line. He kicked his leg out from under his leg. It's my favorite thing Owen ever said.
At Mania, these 2 masters of their craft put on a technical
Actually, that's a lie. Owen said a lot of funny things. That Owen's fantastic.
showcase like no other. To just list all the spots would do this match a serious disservice, but just look at the people involved. Let's just say it wasn't all tests of strength and back rakes. The younger Hart actually pinned his more accomplished brother to not only score an upset victory, but also to set up a scintillating stare down at the end of the night as Bret celebrated with the gold. Actually, maybe there was some emotion here after all. Number 3, Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 20.
All-time classic. This match is fan-effing-tastic.
21. When it comes to the perfect mixture of in-ring ability, promo skills, and physical storytelling, there aren't many wrestlers
I love this match so goddamn much.
that can match up to Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels. One was a traditional grappler with Olympic experience, whilst the other was a flashy showman who some thought favored style over substance. All this helped make their clash at WrestleMania 21 one of the most intriguing and greatest Mania matches of all time. Angle kept trying to beat Michaels with his technical mastery, but Shawn did what he did best and frustrated him. He kept finding new ways to get out of Angle's moves, throwing in his own amateur wrestling to annoy the Olympic gold medalist even more. Word of advice, Shawn, don't piss off a man who could snap your foot clean off if he wanted to. The wrestling machine finally put the showstopper down with a vicious ankle lock after almost half an hour of wrestling heaven. These 2 men could pull magic out of thin air, so it's no surprise that they excelled when put together. Also, this feud gave us Sexy Kurt, which is enough to get it on this list on its own. Number 2, Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13.
The match that cemented Stone Cold Steve Austin as a top star in WWE. In wrestling, actually.
The build-up to WrestleMania 13 was all over the place. First, Shawn Michaels was champion, then Bret Hart, then Sid. Austin won the Royal Rumble, but because he cheated, The Undertaker took his place in the main event. Thankfully, out of all this carnage came the grudge
WrestleMania 13, Really, yeah, it's really known for just this match alone.
match to end all grudge matches. Hart went into this match as the embodiment of the company's past, clean-cut, respectful, and humble. As for Austin, he was the total antithesis of those things and a sign of things to come in wrestling's future. To settle their differences, these 2 titans met in an I Quit match officiated by Ken Shamrock and his tiny little shorts. After some of the most intense fighting WWE fans had ever seen, the match ended with one of the all-time great closing spots. A bloodied Austin was locked deep into Bret's sharpshooter as the Canadian demanded that the Texan give up. Defiant as always, Austin chose to pass out from the pain, cementing himself as a megastar in the process. A great wrestling match is one thing, but one that changes the entire course of the industry? That is something special. Number 1, The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 20.
Fire. That's fair. Both of these matches are incredible. That is absolutely fair and absolutely deserved.
25 and 26. Alright, we couldn't pick between the two, but you know what? We shouldn't have to. When The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels met at WrestleMania 25, they put on what many still consider to be the single greatest match in the show's history, non-title or otherwise. Even after half an hour of breathtaking spots and masterful storytelling, the tale was not over though. 1 year later, after months of obsessively trying to get Taker to agree to a rematch, HBK battled and lost to the Dead Man, ending his career in the process. These matches are like takeaway pizza and shoddy garlic dip. You cannot have one without the other. There's so much context that you need to have seen both in order to fully understand them. In actual fact, there's about a dozen other matches and moments that you need to see to get the full story. Classic moments, a legendary storyline, and an intangible feeling of greatness sitting across them. There was just no separating the two Taker Michaels Mania matches, so they're both our number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this reaction video. Let me know what your favorite non-title match at WrestleMania is. Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.